Right, and a quick check on the numbers. Once again, AAP at 26, BJP 28, Congress exactly where it was 43 minutes ago.
And the gap between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP, it keeps increasing,
Right.
that it comes right back to a neck-to-neck race. So as we are saying, we even saw 21 and 30, and now suddenly it's back to 28 and 27.
Right.
So it's still a neck-to-neck race,
Absolutely.
and we can't call it otherwise until we have that final figure. That's what we want all our viewers to know. The race is tight, just like what some exit polls had also suggested. Of course, a lot of pressure on the pollsters as of now to get those figures right.
Right.
Him, let's quickly go over to Dharamjot, who's at the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. Dharam, we spoke with you about a half hour ago. There was a lot of commotion around you, behind you, that we could very easily gauge from the visuals. As of now, what's the mood like?
Well, the commotion and flurry has only increased since we last spoke, Shivan. In fact, just a few seconds ago, the entire stage setup was being finalized. There's music and audio check that is being done by the party workers. So a lot of flurry of activity as the early trends start pouring in. Again, it's still going to be a few hours before we get a final clear picture with respect to who is forming the government. But the anticipation is high, and it's clearly spilling from the headquarters into all the surrounding areas over here, Shivan.
Right,
Even the gap between the figures, that you're saying, it's still remaining a neck-to-neck race?
All right, and we were of course also talking about Dharamjot with Ms. Fadnis about party guarantees, and I think one thing that's very important to mention here when it comes to political discourse and party guarantees is the women's vote, right? Women voters are expected to be a major factor in these elections, and Dharamjot, I just wanted to get a sense from you, how do you think the political parties have addressed women's concerns, and what do you think will be impact of their outreach efforts?
Well, if there's one thing consistent across all the quote-unquote guarantees the what parties have offered, majority of it surrounds financial aid / assistance. And to some extent, it has been painted the picture of women empowerment. One thing that we have to talk about is the fact that overall women's security, especially in the national capital, that has not been a big point of discussion as people were expecting it to be with respect to the manifestos and the promises made by the parties. So a lot of the unofficial term that people are using for it is freebies. A lot of freebies or / guarantees being offered with respect to the money that is being offered to women of Delhi. But other than that, a lot of infrastructural issues, a lot of foundational issues have not really been addressed. There were some promises made by the Aam Aadmi Party with respect to free bus rides, free metro rides, but that is something that we've seen before as well. There's nothing new on that front. So there's money on the table, to put it very, very bluntly. But have some foundational issues been addressed? Not really.
All right, Dharamjot, once again, let me just revise the numbers for our viewers. Right now, we're seeing Aam Aadmi Party at 22. It's the BJP at 37. Not much has changed for the Congress right now. We are seeing some jump back and forth here as well.
BJP has crossed the midpoint. They are in the majority as of now, as per this, but we've seen the numbers keep flip-flopping as of now. The gap has suddenly increased. BJP is past that 35 figure mark.
Back again at 36 now. So again, of course, the numbers are shuttling at this point.
Exactly. But again, it comes back to a neck-to-neck race, as we've seen multiple times since 8 a.m., since the time counting began. As of now, AAP is at 23. BJP has crossed the majority mark at 36. And, Congress is where it was. I think every time we mention Congress and the figure that it's won, it's, it would be... It would be registering closely with the Congress, because I think they were expecting this.
If we just could take a little, if we could just talk about the Congress for a little bit here. Of course, I think it's going to be interesting to see if Congress after this is able to regain any sort of ground in Delhi's political arena overall. Of course, the numbers not very promising at the moment, but given its projected, well, for lack of a better word, weak performance in the elections, can it? Do you think that is possible?
As far as the figures are concerned, I feel the BJP is definitely rejoicing at this moment. They only had something to win at the end of this election, especially when you've not been in power for 27 years. And talking about the BJP, let's go to Siddhant, who's at the BJP headquarters. There was a bit of a lull when we spoke to him earlier in the day. But as of now, Siddhant, you're at the BJP headquarters. Any sense you're picking up from the people there regarding the figure that has come in? As of now, BJP stands past 30 is at 35 now. Okay, we saw 37, now it's at 35, but still it's well ahead of the Aam Aadmi Party, which stands at 25 as per now.
Well, right now I am at the regional office of the BJP, the Delhi office of BJP. That was the BJP's main headquarters. Now, essentially, there are a lot of people present here, media in full force, but also it looks like workers will be shortly coming here to celebrate. We are, of course, right now getting those early leads for the BJP in terms of the election results. But let my camera person Neeraj Patel show you what's the mood like here at the BJP headquarters. There you can see a lot of people present here, and of course the banners, the cutouts have also been put as well of the top BJP leaders here in Delhi and in India. But essentially an important day for BJP, because if BJP is able to form the government, it will be after 27 years, and that will be an important booster at the national level. And while if Aam Aadmi Party led by Arvind Kejriwal fails to form the government, that could be a major problem ahead for the party's existence as well, given the fact that it was in its last 15 years taking a strong lead at the national level. But this election, that is why, is seen as decisive for both BJP and for the Aam Aadmi Party. And while there is no discussion for the Congress, it looks like it is, of course, still the same situation when it comes to election results, when it comes to the Congress party. But all in all, we know that it's just around 9 a.m. local time. It's a long day. And if, of course, BJP manages to get a good number and form the government, do expect the Indian Prime Minister to make an address at the BJP's political office, something that has been a tradition of sorts.
Siddhant, just to give a quick glimpse of the numbers again, Aam Aadmi Party at 25, the BJP has now surged to 38. It's well past the majority that they need. At this point, Congress exactly where it was at 1. They got that 1 pretty early, but have not moved any further from there. The gap between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party as of now is nearly at 13 seats. BJP at 38, Aam Aadmi Party at 25. But as we've seen in the past as well, it gets back to being a neck-to-neck race. Siddhant, just wanted to get your thoughts on this. Do you feel BJP is truly tested when the opposition is united? As of now, any doubts you feel the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress would have been having that, perhaps staying together would have been a better choice for both parties?
Well, it was at the end of the day political decisions of both the parties, and essentially we know that for the joint opposition, a loss, of course, is something that will reverberate in the parliament as well. But for the BJP, if you look at its game plan in the elections here, they fought the elections on the local issues like water, like sanitations, like health, and not at the national issues as well. So that is something that stood out for me when it comes to the BJP's poll strategy here. But all in all, we know that in next few hours we'll get to know the final election results. But looking at what has happened in just past 1 hour, it is clear that BJP is taking the front foot, and there is a big gap, it looks like, which is happening between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP.
Thanks, Siddhant. While you stay put there at the regional headquarters there of the BJP, let me now quickly bounce over to Dharamjot. Dharamjot, there's equal amount of commotion there at the BJP office as well. Coming back to where you are at the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. Now, these are early trends, so we need to keep reiterating that for our viewers. These are early trends, but Kejriwal is trailing Parvesh Singh, and Saurabh Bharadwaj leads in GK at this point. Anything that you've picked up so far in terms of, how is the Aam Aadmi Party looking at the figures or these early trends at this point?
Well, Shivan, as I mentioned early in the morning too, the optimism level definitely remains high. A lot of leadership is gathered behind these very gates, but no official word yet. Like I mentioned, the stance is pretty much the same. They're confident that they'll form the government again. prayers have been offered, audio checks are being done. The stage is quite literally set behind me. Whether or not that stage is used to make a victory speech or to concede the election, we will find out in a couple of hours from now. But all in all, a very positive mood, a very uplifted mood at this point. Will it change or not? I think that's something that once more trends come in, it gets more clear as to who's winning this election. The mood will definitely change with that, or remain consistent if it goes in the Aam Aadmi Party's favour.
And just to quickly give a glimpse of the trends, the early trends that are coming in: Aam Aadmi Party at 26, Bharatiya Janata Party at 38, Congress at 1. So the early trends are suggesting the BJP is in the lead. And as I mentioned earlier, Kejriwal is trailing Parvesh Singh as per the early trends in the New Delhi seat. Sandeep Dixit also in the running over there. We will be having the figures for that very shortly. Dharam, as far as the leaders who are concerned, we had some bites from them, some reactions from them. There was high drama at regarding the Aam Aadmi Party just last evening. It wasn't even 24 hours ago. How much of that do you feel has put them on on a really cautious footing at this point, looking at the trends as well as what's to come?
Well, Shivan, if there's one thing I can say, they're definitely not cautious. They're very much on the offense over here, given the fact that the attacks on the BJP began fairly early on yesterday, when they accused the Bharatiya Janata Party of trying to quote-unquote buy some of their leaders ahead of the result day. The accusations said that they were offering as much as 15 crore rupees to every Aam Aadmi Party leader, a total of 16 of them, and they were trying to be coaxed into shifting party alliances. Now, as far as we know, the Anti-Corruption Bureau is investigating the matter. It has demanded certain clarification and substantiation from the Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal. But that's a separate matter, even though it has sort of set the tone very early on with respect to how tight, how intense and this election is going to be, and how much really is at stake. I think these actions clarify that, to our viewers and to the parties too. There's so much at stake for both of them. The Aam Aadmi Party has been in power for 10 years. We've seen in Delhi's past voting history, they've given a fairly long reign to every party that they vote for. We saw Congress in 15 years in power over here, with Sheila Dikshit at the helm of affairs, before the Aam Aadmi Party, quite literally changed the entire political landscape. And then they've been in power for 10 years in absolute complete majority.
Yes.
Can there be a shift? Can anti-incumbency really, turn the election around and give Bharatiya Janata Party an opportunity at the national capital after 28 years? That's a big question. They're definitely hopeful, but so is the Aam Aadmi Party. At the end of the day, Shivan, it's the issues that stick in the voters' mind the most that decide which way this election is going to go.
All right, Dharam, stay tight over there. I will come back to you for all the action and the buzz coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. We also have our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who's there at the BJP office. But as of now, I'm quickly going to toss over to him to get us the latest developments on what's to come as of now.